Assalamu alaikum. Ramadan Mubarak, everybody. Today I want to talk to you about 7 things that we practice during Ramadan, and guess what? They all happen to start with the letter S. So the first thing we practice during Ramadan that starts with the letter S is Saum. Saum is to fast, and fasting means not to eat food or drink during the day. We also fast from doing things that might be unhealthy for us. It's a chance to check our habits and see if there's something that we should change. So Saum means to practice keeping away from something. Can you fast from something that's not food? Maybe you can fast from complaining about something. So the second thing that starts with the letter S during Ramadan that we practice or that we think about is suhoor. Now there are 2 meals in Ramadan, as everybody knows, suhoor in the morning and an iftar in the evening. But the 2 meals in Ramadan really remind us to be conscious of what we put in our bodies. And it's because our bodies are something that Allah Ta'ala gave us as an amana to take care of. So not just that we eat in the morning and eat at night, but even what we eat, how we eat, maybe even how we cook the food, all of that is a part of practicing mindful eating during Ramadan. What do you like to eat for suhoor? What tastes good and what fills you up? And what foods give you energy? Let's think about what the food does for us inside our bodies. So the third thing that we practice during Ramadan that happens to start with the letter S is salah. Salah, of course, is praying. And during Ramadan, we have even more chances to pray, either by ourselves or with others. And what's really especially important during Ramadan, since we're praying so much more, is to pay attention to the positions of prayer. And pay attention to how we pray, why we even pray in certain ways, and what that does for our body, and how it's actually helpful to our body that we pray in those ways. And it helps us because we're praying maybe more than we were during outside of Ramadan time, and maybe now we're praying Taraweeh together, so there's lots and lots of time to pray. A part of salah, of course, is reading Quran during prayer or outside of prayer. And so it's beautiful that when we can use our voices to read the Quran, and you don't have to have a perfect voice to recite the Quran. You can just recite it by reading it in any way that you think you can do it, and that will bring peace in your heart to the people that are around you, and of course it's Allah's words. So Allah's words always gives us such peace. So salah is practice talking and connecting to Allah Ta'ala. So the fourth thing that we practice during Ramadan that starts with the letter S is sabr. Many of us know that sabr means patience, right? And that means you have to wait for something. And it's hard. It's hard to wait when you're fasting, for example, to the end of the day to eat. Waiting is also hard because we have to have self-control. But sabr is also a part of something bigger, which is perseverance. And perseverance means that we keep on trying and working hard at something, even though it's difficult, even though it's hard. But we set a goal and we work towards that goal. So we have to think about goals in our lives, and Ramadan helps us to practice that sabr. So whenever you have something you have to accomplish, we can have those goals in mind. Part of having sabr right now is being at home more than we were used to, or not being able to do other things. But we're going to persevere through that, inshallah, with sabr, and be able to be together in positive ways, inshallah. So sabr is to practice patience and perseverance. Number 5 on ways that we practice during Ramadan that start with the letter S, and in this case it's SH, is shukr. So shukr is gratefulness or thankfulness. And of course during Ramadan we really do practice that a lot. We're thankful for the food that we have at the end of the day. We're also thankful for our family. We're thankful for our health and our bodies being able to do the things we need to do, right? Many ways to show thankfulness. One way that I think about showing thankfulness is even when you sit down to eat iftar. So before you sit down to eat and we say Bismillah, you can also think about the person that cooked the food, and we're thankful for that person. We also think about the people that brought the food to us, whether it's the people that transport it to the grocery stores, and then the people that grew the food, which are farmers, all the way back. And we say thank you to all of them. And we do it every night. And every time you have iftar and you do it, you're more thinking about gratefulness in your heart, and it becomes an attitude that we have for everything around us. So shukr is to practice thankfulness. So number 6 of our S's for Ramadan that we practice are 2 of my favorites, which is salam and sakina. So salam and sakina both mean being peaceful and finding calm in our lives. And it is difficult. Sometimes when you're fasting, it's hard to be peaceful with somebody else, because you might feel hungry and you might feel a little bit angry as well, right? So what do we do with that anger? For Ramadan, it really helps us to think about finding ways to be more peaceful. So it's not just saying I'm going to be peaceful, but finding ways to do that. So you might take deep breaths, you might go to your sakina space, and you might find different ways to even talk to somebody. So we're watching our words, we're watching how we talk, and we're watching our feelings as well, and we're being careful about how those feelings affect people. So salam and sakina is the practice of being peaceful and calm during Ramadan. So number 7, the last S for our practicing during Ramadan is sadaqa. Sadaqa means to help others. In Ramadan, because we're fasting and we're practicing all the other S's, we really start to understand how people would feel if they don't have food, if they don't have clothing, if they don't have the things that they need to live, and sometimes if they don't have fairness or justice in their lives. And all of those help us because we're remembering them to think of how to help those people that need it. So during Ramadan, it helps us to think through. A sadaqa could be something that you help in a big way, but it can also be small ways. So we think about how to help in a day, all during our day, for somebody that needs it. So sadaqa is practice helping in any way possible those that need it. So we'll go over all of these S's during this month, inshallah. Look for messages from your teachers, from other folks at school, and send us your ideas about how you're practicing any of these S's during Ramadan, or if you think of some others that we should add to this list, inshallah. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.